What's up, guys? Luke and Matt checking in to answer the public. We have answered the public open, and we're going to be answering the questions we have about health and fitness with our best answers. So I will start, Luke, by saying, how accurate are fitness trackers? I suppose we mean watches.
Yeah, so like the Phoenix Garmin's, things like that. It depends. If you get a really cheap one, they're not that great. You get a cheap Fitbit, but I find them actually quite accurate these days. The technology has come along a long ways. When you look at the early research on them, a lot of them didn't use watches that were expensive or quality types of watches, and most of the research is like 5-6 years ago or before. Technology changes really quickly because I used to be a computer programmer, and that's what I went to college for initially. And the one thing we would say about the computer industry there is it basically doubled every 18 months, and now it's faster. So a lot of coaches will say, oh, the fitness watches, they're not accurate. They don't do heart rate accurately. They don't do calories accurately. But if you know how to use them correctly, I find that they actually are fairly accurate. And at least if they're not, even if they weren't accurate, like fully 100%, they're accurate against themselves.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Does it matter if they're accurate as long as they're consistent?
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of stuff we look at isn't accurate. A DEXA scan.
The scales were wrong in the gym yesterday.
That's right.
If you stood on those same scales every day, you know your deviation from the standardized base.
100%. And if you look at like people go do body composition tests, like a DEXA scanner, that's right now commercially that is the cream of the crop, right? It's not accurate. It has a variance of plus minus 3 to 5, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. That just means that if you go into a scan and then you go into a scan in 12 weeks, you can compare those together. But if you went into a different company and did a different machine, now there's no accuracy. So is it accurate or is it not? I mean, it just depends how you view it.
So buy a good one. Okay, next question. Which fitness diet is best?
All of them, depending on when you use them, what the context is.
They all work until they don't?
Yeah, and they all work in different situations for different physiologies.
And for different preferences?
Different preferences. Like, I think we should pretty much be like Switzerland when we talk about diets.
Agnostic as fuck.
Agnostic as fuck, because different people do better on different diets. So people will poo-poo a keto diet. Oh, people hate the keto diet. However, most of the time when I put people on a keto diet, for the reasons I do, is because it tends to make them satiated.
Sure.
They tend to like their food, and it keeps them on track.
So it's not pro keto, it's pro the outcome and open to experimentation without dogma.
100%. And having every client as an N of one and choosing the right thing for them. But what's funny is there's a lot of people that are in ketosis, which is technically a ketogenic diet, that aren't what they look at as a ketogenic diet. Most people doing bodybuilding in that last stage, when they're about to get on stage, I think they would be surprised if they actually measured their blood BHBs, which is your measurement for ketosis.
Piss on the stick.
Not a piss on the stick.
Oh, blood.
You want blood.
Yeah,
you want blood. Almost I think every single competitor I've ever dealt with
probably was ketosis.
They were in ketosis, even though it didn't look like a ketogenic diet on paper.
And a lot of them probably would have had dogma against keto diets.
100%. But here's the thing, like, what are the 3 things that they say you need for ketosis? Low protein, low to moderate protein, high fat, low carb. Mm-hmm. When you throw training in the mix, it alters things. I've actually hit ketosis on triple body weight protein and 250 grams of carbs and almost no fat.
We're right back at exercise, nutritional metabolism again.
Exactly. Like, all of these things fit together. If you took a guy in the Tour de France who was training like 8 hours a day on the bike and you gave him 500 grams of carbs, he would go into ketosis. That is a ketogenic diet for them because it's not really about the carbs. It's not really about the fat. It actually has to do with, does your liver have glycogen? Because when you deplete the liver of glycogen, it stimulates a ketogenic process.
So, good. Solid.
Yeah.
Next question. What is the best training split for someone starting out?
The one that fits in with their lifestyle. So I would say if you're just starting out, you've never trained, my preference would be a full body routine, a few days a week. And the reason is because if you do, let's say you do a body part split or you do an upper lower, it might be more volume than is necessary, and you might have DOMs that you could have avoided. Let's say we spread that out over 3 days and you do 3 to 4 sets of each body part on each day, your level of DOMs is going to be a lot less. You're also going to have more frequency to doing those exercises, which is good for learning and mastering the exercises very quickly.
Yeah, so stimulate, don't annihilate. And
Stimulate, don't annihilate.
effectively, you also learn the kind of proprioceptive nature of each movement. So
You-
you master each movement much faster because you're doing more reps of each thing, but without the exhaustion of the back end
That's right.
reps of the volume.
You're doing fresh sets every time, so fresh sets will always be done better. And think about this: if you have a client who, let's say you do an upper lower, and this week it's like Monday upper, Wednesday lower, Friday upper, and they missed their lower day because, I had to pick up my kids.
That's what I was
and
gonna say,
there.
yeah.
And then the next week they miss Monday and Friday's lower because, something happened. I had to blow dry my ball sacks or whatever. People almost always, if they're going to miss a workout, they'll miss the lower.
Yeah.
And then they end up looking like a fucking snow cone bodybuilder.
I wish I'd worn trousers. Next question. Do I need to eat vegetables to get a six-pack?
I mean, technically, no.
Agree.
I think if you want to keep shitting normally, that's probably a good idea to eat your
The
vegetables.
question says nothing about shitting.
Yeah. I mean, veggies are good. Like, it's a thing we don't want to eat, but I think it's pretty important. I mean, fiber, you're getting some nutrients that you're not going to get anywhere else.
You probably enjoy getting the six-pack more by virtue of indigestible fiber because you're fuller as well, right?
You're more full.
You're going to have to
Yeah.
diet to get the six-pack.
Yeah.
You have to eat low calorie in a deficit. If you have some veg, it's indigestible fiber, you're going to end up having more satiation.
I mean, technically, there's only one thing you need to lose body fat and get a six-pack, which is a calorie deficit.
You just don't eat. You'll have a six-pack in no time.
Yeah, you just fast for 40 days. Do the Jesus fast for 40 days.
Follow
You'll get
us for more
shredded
fitness
ass.
tips.
I'm fairly certain that Jesus had a six-pack.
Shout out to Jesus. He sponsors this question and answer session.
The original bodybuilder.
Okay, next question. Ready?
Yeah.
How much weight should I expect to lose a week?
How fat are you?
I mean, I suppose that's a good point. Yeah.
And I'm not.
Well, okay, if you're fat, will you lose? Could you expect to lose more faster?
We can't say fat. That's not politically correct. So if you're it depends how gravitationally challenged you are.
If you are more gravitationally challenged, should you expect to lose weight faster?
100%, as long as you don't treat your mouth like a vacuum cleaner.
Fat or weight?
But they're both. Fat is weight, right? But I would say if you have a significant amount of fat to lose, you're going to lose a lot of it really quickly if you're dieting. The leaner you get, you probably want to slow it down a bit because you don't want to burn off muscle tissue.
You want to protect the metabolically active tissue that you're trying to retain whilst getting rid of it.
Yeah. So I would say it depends on where you're on the continuum. The fatter you are, the faster you can go. It's not a problem. If you are in kind of the average body fat level, somewhere like for women, somewhere in that like 25% plus or minus a bit. If you're men, like 15% plus or minus a bit. I would look at anywhere from 0.5 to 1% of your body mass per week is pretty safe. But then once you start getting below 12, you start getting into that like 10 to single digit. Mm-hmm. I would probably slow it down and say, more towards that 0.5 per week is a better idea.
Okay, look, internet FAQs say, do I have to do cardio to lose weight?
No, absolutely not. I mean, you don't have to do cardio to lose body fat. It's a good thing for your health, and it makes things a lot easier. What I would say is you probably don't want to use cardio or exercise as your only way to lose weight. Mm-hmm. It's logistically, it's much easier to do it with a deficit or combine deficit with output. I think the problem that people do is they go and they train, they do let's say they do an hour of cardio, and the mistake they make is they eat those calories back. And you have calories in, calories out.
But my watch said,
if you have a big calorie out and then you replace all those calories in, you're now to net zero again.
Yeah, my watch said I burnt 400 calories, so I'm going to treat myself.
That's it. And that's supposed to be the deficit that makes you lose weight.
In that context.
Don't eat it back.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What's the best exercise to lose weight?
Table push-aways.
Oh, explain?
You push away from the table and don't stuff yourself. Stop treating your mouth like a vacuum cleaner.
Superset with fork put downs?
Fork put downs is a good one too. Yes.
Yeah, that's a favorite of mine.
Yeah. I think eat with chopsticks is really hard to overeat when you eat with chopsticks. That's why there's so many skinny Asians.
Man, this is straight up value. Table push-aways, fork put down, chopsticks.
Chopstick. Superset with chopsticks. Tricep.
Follow for more fitness tips.
That's it.